Welcome back, everybody. And today's a little different time of the day. You know, I thought I'd do this a little later than normal. And I'm going to have to ask the question because I've been thinking about this, and quite clearly it's becoming very clear to me. Have you ever found as you age, the things that used to make you happy no longer really bring you that happiness? And let's just give you some examples. You know, when I was starting out in my young career, married, even before the kids, we used to enjoy traveling, jumping on a plane, jet setting, going to Vegas, going to Los Angeles, going to Mexico, going to Cuba, going to Jamaica. We've been all those places. And we used to get super excited, super stoked, heart racing. You'd get just all wound up, and the anticipation of taking that trip was always too much. It was wonderful. That was a big part of, looking forward to the next stage, the next step, the next, landmark, if you will. And that's something that, in my younger years, I used to get super excited for, was traveling, like I said, holidaying, looking forward to the next trip. But as I age, I find myself, little bugs flying around here. As I age, I find myself, I don't know. Maybe you're feeling the same way. Kind of like to hear what you all have to say about that. But, as I age, I find my enthusiasm for some of those things that I used to love doing just isn't quite there anymore. I don't have that same level of enthusiasm. I'm not as enthusiastic as I was about doing these types of things anymore. And it's not because I don't have the energy. I feel more energetic and spry than I ever have. I'm good for, physical fitness items. I definitely love to go for a bike ride, walking, running, jogging, climbing. Matter of fact, going on a camping trip here coming up right away. And there's a place called Johnson's Canyon, and it's absolutely wonderful. It's not a real complicated hiking trail, but it's very, very picturesque. I plan to do that here coming up. I just love staying busy and active. So it's not about me slowing down. It's about the shift in perspective, shift in attitude. It's kind of what I'm seeing now. It's more than just getting on a plane and doing that. Definitely, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you in the same place? As you age, some of these things just lose their luster. I mean, if I can add more to that conversation, what about, some of the other things that used to bring you joy? Say cars, in my case. Well, I still get stoked about, looking at some fun cars and getting all fired up over it. Always never give up an opportunity to get my hands, on a steering wheel of a fun car. And I don't think that'll ever go away. Neither will vacationing, as long as I physically can. None of that's going away. But some things, going down to a car show maybe isn't quite as illustrious as it once was. Maybe it doesn't quite feel as, I mean, those are the things that actually got me severely motivated. Now, absolutely, definitely want to, keep driving fun cars, because that is one of the driving forces behind kind of who I am, and I love cars. But quite honestly, to do the extras kind of makes you wonder, right? Does that bring the joy that it once did? Well, cars might be a bit of an exception. I still have a lot of verve. I love fun cars, exotic cars. They always kind of light my fire. So do, great muscle cars and classics and interesting, unique vehicles. Always, are always something that I find appealing. And I don't think I'll ever lose that. But all of these things, mainly travel, mainly even going out on a Friday night, to go see a movie and this and that, and going out driving and doing all these things and stopping at a car show and grabbing some dinner. And I'd just rather sit at home, with the wife and just enjoy time closer to family, closer to my wife, spend a little bit more quality time rather than, going out in a busy environment where it's full of distractions. I'm just as well sitting at home and spending more time with the people I love. The idea of, I don't know, those things that used to get you going. I don't know. It's just, especially like I said, travel and some of these other things that it just doesn't feel like it's there anymore. We like traveling. Like I said, I love seeing new things. Last year we went to Italy and it was spectacular. And maybe it's just the journey getting there. I don't know. Taking 3 flights and up and down in airplanes and all of that. I never loved that anyway. Once we were in Italy, it was absolutely spectacular. I loved it there. I could actually easily move there. I actually debated moving there, maybe Portugal, because that's where my wife's from. It'd be an easy one to swing from, being a citizen or so. It could probably be an easy one for me to muster up. But yeah, just the idea of traveling and all these other things that sort of take you out of your day-to-day routine just don't seem to have the same taste or the same excitement. So I guess what I'll ask is, are you folks feeling the same thing? As you age, do you feel that some of those things that used to fire you up just don't fire you up anymore? And maybe some of this there's a couple of reasons maybe that I can think of, and maybe I'm sure there's clinical psychologists on board that can analyze this behavior. Maybe they say, hey, he's clinically depressed. No, I don't think so. But hey, if there's anybody online who knows, great, analyze. I'd be interested to kind of hear what the thought is. But I think what happens is you go through life and all these things shiny new gives you this feeling of everything's new and wow, you get all excited, and everything's just new and fresh and zesty, and you just love that. Like, that's just the thing that gets you going every day, right? Or gets you going every week or every month or whatever you've got planned. But I don't know. It's just kind of a bit of a strange thing, but I'm feeling it. Or could it just be that I'm starting to realize that all those things are more physical assets or liabilities or whatever? They're the physical element, ownership, things that you can buy and sell and own and put in your closet. This is kind of, bear with me here. There we go. He's going for a ride. At least he's not rooting on her. Some folks around here just really get on it, and it's a little bit dangerous. I've seen a few circumstances here. I've even seen somebody get hit here once in front of the school. But I guess what I'm trying to ask is, maybe all those things all along were just this fascination with owning things and what's the word I'm looking for here? Just owning a bunch of stuff, right? We all love stuff, but now going through my parents' personal things, now that they're both passed, I find myself going through a bunch of stuff. There you go. Oh wow, that knocks the beauty of going for a quiet walk right off the top. But anyway, there's been a lot of that noise here recently. I don't know, construction around here somewhere. I haven't seen anything dug up here per se in the neighborhood, but there's a lot of these gravel trucks, and so that's just not not great. So that's why I like sticking on the paths. But so is it just this fascination to have all this junk? Because I'm realizing now, having to clean up the estate, that over years, 30, 40, 50 years, there's all this stuff. And quite honestly, you look at it and you're like, toss, toss, toss. You know, okay, this got some value, either give it away or sell it or something. But as you age, less of that stuff matters. What matters more, again, are spending those quality evenings with the better half, spending those quality evenings, you know, with your wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, kids, you know, all of that. Spending time with the people you actually care about is what I'm finding are the things that really matter most to me right now. And having all those toys are nice. And don't get me wrong. I mean, you know, there's still the odd toy. I'm just saying there seems to be less of it that I'm interested in. I'm in a mode where I like to thin the herd, so to speak. I want to trim down, clean up. And there will be a few things, you know, I'll definitely like to get my hands on a fun car yet. Definitely want to get my hands on a fun car because that's probably the only thing that I have a vice. I don't gamble. I don't drink alcohol anyway. I don't smoke. I'm not a priest. I'm not perfect. But I just never taken solace in doing those things. I've never kind of gone there. You know, as a kid, I've tried smoking and drinking a little bit and just never really appealed to me. You know, been there, done that. But, you know, so it's just one of those things, right? You know, those things just don't appeal. So now the car maybe I'll pick up myself a fun car yet before I call her, you know, call her good. Because fun cars, that's really the only thing that drives me, pardon the pun. But, you know, bugs flying all over here. Something went up my schnoz. But yeah, you know, generally speaking, there's not this desire to have all this junk. You know, and here, let me cross the road here. You know, I know it's nice to have nice clothes. Hey, maybe I look like a hobo. That's okay. I'm okay doing that. I don't care what other people think. And that's the beauty when you retire. You don't have to put on the show like you are in the corporate game or your work environment where you feel you have to dress up and spend thousands of dollars on your wardrobe. I don't care. I don't dress like a slob. I wear decent clothes, but I'm not a brand yeah. I just like to have, I don't know, average stuff, like in terms of clothing, because that's never been my thing. Everybody's got their thing, whether you want to golf or you like clothes, shoes, hats, purses, cars, whatever it is. A lot of people have those things, but for me, I don't really have a lot of those other things. But, so maybe one day here yet, you know, mark my words, I'm kind of always on a little bit of a hunt for something fun to drive. Beyond that though, honestly, I just don't have a big need to be spending money and buying all this junk that my kids will have to toss when I croak. So yeah, maybe one of these days, like I said, I'll show up with a fun car, but till then, everything else is simple. It's a simpler life. And like I said, the luster is kind of gone from, you know, most of the other things that I once maybe was interested in, and just could care less right now, honestly. Now, I don't know. How do you guys feeling about that? Do you find you're in the same position where, you know, as you age, there seems to be less give a crap factor? These things just don't matter to you as much? I mean, that's certainly how I'm starting to evolve. And I don't know. Is it good or bad? I don't know. It is what it is. But I love a simpler life, hanging out with the family, looking after myself. And like I said, with the exception of maybe getting a fun toy somewhere along the way here. But beyond that, keep it simple. Simplifying life is really the best way. Like I said, for a couple of reasons. Number one, I don't need all this junk to look after and maintain. And number two, when I'm gone, the kids don't need a big mess to clean up. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Please do drop a line. Do you find that as you age too, that there's less things that you used to care about that maybe just don't matter so much anymore? Yeah, I'd love to hear it. Anyway, Everyone have an absolutely spectacular weekend. I'm heading off camping, and I'll share some of those exciting moments with you as well. See you real soon. Bye-bye.